Heavenly Tao Buddha? Hanju frowned. What was this? Why did he suddenly hate him? Hanju immediately checked his interpersonal relationships and quickly found the Heavenly Tao Buddha. Heavenly Tao Buddha, cultivation unknown. Cognate life form of the Heavenly Tao, immeasurable emperor, transformed from a corpse in the devil ancestor. He has obtained the providence of the Heavenly Tao. Because Liu Bei forcefully occupied the body of the victorious fighting Buddha, he has developed hatred towards you. Current hatred points, 4 stars. Hanju frowned even more. He had actually been discovered by the Heavenly Tao Buddha. What should he do? Should he add him to the curse list? Hanju thought for a moment and decided to curse in 10 years to avoid being suspected. There were Buddhist factions in the netherworld, so he had to be careful. Then, Hanju closed his eyes and continued cultivating. After 57 years, Liu Bei finally succeeded in possessing the body of the victorious fighting Buddha. However, he was unable to unleash the body's full strength. Hanju asked him to return to the Sword Dao River and guard it while adapting to the victorious fighting Buddha's physical strength. Hanju wasn't worried that the Heavenly Tao Buddha would attack the Sword Dao River. Now that the immortal world was in chaos, how could the Buddhists have the time to care about this? Even if he really came, Liu Bei could still escape. Even if he couldn't escape, Hanju would fight to avenge him in the future. Cough cough, that sounded heartless. After Liu Bei left, Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing the Heavenly Tao Buddha. Cursed Dharma treasures weren't rare in the myriad worlds. The most powerful characteristic of the Book of Misfortune was that it could not be deduced as the real culprit. As long as the Heavenly Tao Buddha was cursed, he wouldn't have the time to retrieve the victorious fighting Buddha's body. Hanju couldn't help but sigh. The Book of Misfortune was really a good treasure. He hadn't wasted all those Heavenly Tao Spirit Stones. If he had spent them on other Dharma treasures, how could he have been so carefree today? Hanju admired his thinking. This was what it meant to kill enemies 1,000 miles away, to be on guard. Hanju cursed as he checked his emails regularly. Your good friend Huang Zuantian has obtained the true teachings of the Jie school. His cultivation has increased greatly. Your good friend Huang Jihao was attacked by your good friend Li Daokong and was severely injured. Your good friend Li Daokong was attacked by your enemy Li Xianao. Your grand disciple Fang Liang accidentally entered the dark forbidden zone. Your good friend Di Hongye was expelled by time. Your Dao companion Xian Qingjun was attacked by demons. X14021. Your good friend Zhou Fan was attacked by demons. X89743. Hanju raised his eyebrows. Huang Zuantian had obtained the true teachings of the Jie school. Was he promoted? Wow, were Li Daokong and Li Xianao in conflict with each other? What was this brat Fang Liang doing again? My Dao companion isn't cultivating properly and has also begun to involve herself? Hanju thought silently. He sensed danger. The Heavenly Tao had begun to make a move on him. His disciples, grand disciples, Dao companions, and good friends had entered the calamity to lure him into it? Impossible. Hanju was secretly vigilant. He had to hurry up and become stronger so that he could protect the people around him in the future. Hanju's eyes became firm. Immortal world, an immortal island. Dozens of Jie school disciples stood on the mountain peak and looked at the end of the sea. A white crane flew over, and a figure stood on its back. It was Huang Zuantian. Seeing the white crane flying over, the disciples knelt down. Greetings, supremacy, dozens of disciples shouted in unison. Their voices were loud and resounded throughout the immortal island. The white crane landed by the cliff, and Huang Zuantian followed. From today onwards, Huang Zuantian is the island master of Golden Crab Island. All disciples have to listen to him. If anyone disobeys, they will be expelled from the Jie school, the white crane slowly said with an unquestionable tone. Whoosh, the disciples were in an uproar. They all knew Huang Zuantian. He had joined the sect later than them and was considered their junior. Now, he had actually surpassed them and become the island master? Impossible. Wasn't this nonsense? Supremacy, he's only a grand unity heaven immortal. A disciple couldn't help but say. The white crane snorted. I'll teach him personally. This is the vice sect master's intention. I hope that the Jie school immortal island can follow the philosophy of the sect master and avoid the calamity. There's no room for discussion regarding this matter. Whoever dares to disrespect Huang Zuantian in the future will die. The moment the word die was spoken, the temperature suddenly plummeted. All the disciples felt a chill down their spines and did not dare to refute. Huang Zuantian's eyes flickered and he heaved a sigh of relief. He could cultivate in peace now. He had to cultivate diligently and not let that senior down. Thinking of Hanju, Huang Zuntian was full of fighting spirit. 4 years later, Xing Hongxian visited Hanju, and Dao Comprehension Sword was chased out of the cave abode. She felt wronged. Have you really thought about it? Hanju frowned. Xing Hongxian nodded. She took a deep breath and tried her best to remain calm. If I reincarnate, will you abandon me? She decided to reincarnate and try for a good potential. She struggled for 100 years and finally made up her mind. It was only because the disciples of the hidden sect cultivated too quickly. Looking at her again, if not for the fact that she had encountered many opportunities, she was afraid. Hanju said, I've already left a mark on you. No matter how many lifetimes you reincarnate, I can still find you. Xing Hongxian asked, after reincarnation, will I still be myself? I can let you reincarnate with your memories. That's good, Hanju sighed as he looked at her. Looking back at the beginning of their acquaintance, everything was like a dream. He had met Xing Hongxian when he had just stepped into the cultivation path. He hadn't expected that after more than 3,000 years, the two of them would become physically intimate Dao companions. Xing Hongxian suddenly leaned forward and smiled sweetly. Let me have some fun before I reincarnate. What do you want to do? Don't move. Don't resist me. Yes, lie down, slow down, yes. Several months later, Hanju brought Xing Hongshuan's soul to the Bridge of Forgetfulness. He directly extracted her soul and let her die without any pain. There was still a long line of ghosts in front of the Bridge of Forgetfulness. All of them were numb and absent-minded, not the least bit angry. Hanju sent a voice transmission to Mengpa, and the two of them met in the distance. Hanju stated his intention. Mengpa frowned. This is against the reincarnation rules. Hanju raised his eyebrows. You're telling me the rules now? Isn't Tu Linger also? Hanju said bluntly. Mengpa hurriedly interrupted him. This is not a problem. Hanju nodded in satisfaction. Don't feed her your soup. Give her a good birth. She and Tu Linger are both from the hidden sect. The better her potential is, the stronger the protection Tu Linger will receive in the future. Mengpa was speechless. She could only agree helplessly. I'll send her to reincarnate first. Wait for me. Mengpa sighed. Hanju immediately released Xing Hongshuan's soul and let Mengpa lead her to the Bridge of Forgetfulness. Xing Hongxian turned around and looked at him reluctantly. Although she trusted Hanju very much, she had no experience in reincarnation and was still very panicked. Hanju watched her leave. This is the benefit of cultivation. The cycle of life and death is no longer so hopeless. Hanju understood, and his eyes became more determined. About an hour passed. Mengpa returned. She was the first to speak. I let her be reincarnated into a sacred dynasty of the immortal world. Her potential is top-notch, and she might have a chance to become an immortal emperor. Surprised, Hanju asked, with such a powerful potential, won't the sacred dynasty realize that she's a reincarnated person? I've done something already. Besides, this sacred dynasty isn't too strong. It's very difficult for them to sense her. Even if they notice in the future, they won't mind after this woman shows her talent. As long as there are blood ties, the previous life won't matter, Mengpa replied. Hanju asked warily, what did you do? He hurriedly checked his interpersonal relationships. Xing Hongshuan's portrait was still there, but there was no cultivation panel in the introduction state. There were only a few words, in the midst of reincarnation. The portrait was still there, which meant that Xing Hongxian still remembered him. Mengpa rolled her eyes. Do you think I'm such an insincere person? Why would I offend you for a woman? You're even willing to let her reincarnate. Can I use her to threaten you? Hanju felt offended. Why did it feel like he was being insulted? This won't happen again. Otherwise, the king of hell will become angry, Mengpa said seriously. Hanju nodded. He was even more curious about the king of hell now. Why did it feel like the king of hell was the strongest existence in the netherworld? Mengpa continued, did the Magus race send a dream to Linger, asking her to enter the calamity? Hanju asked in surprise, it's not your intention? Mengpa shook her head. Don't let Linger come out. This immeasurable calamity is far greater than before. The Magus race can't appear in this calamity, or our foundation will be destroyed. Far greater than before? Hanju was shocked. Why did he encounter an unprecedented calamity as soon as he arrived? Hanju frowned. Is it because of the conflict between the four overlords? Not only that, there are even more terrifying existences manipulating everything behind the scenes. According to my understanding, there's a dark forbidden lord outside the heavens plotting a great calamity. The demon court, the divine palace, the heavenly court, and the Buddhist sect are all within his calculations. Even if the four overlord powers know, they are unable to resolve their hatred. Such methods are truly terrifying. Menpa sighed. Dark forbidden lord? It sounded like a villain. Hanju asked, you asked me to wait for you because you wanted to tell me not to let Chulinger out? Menpa nodded. Hanju was speechless. It was just a sentence, couldn't she have mentioned this earlier? What was he waiting for? By the way, do you know about the person meant to face the calamity? Hanju asked. The Heavenly Emperor had said that the person facing the calamity was in the netherworld, so he naturally could not ignore it. There might be trouble approaching in the future. Mengpa narrowed her eyes. That person has already been suppressed. You don't have to ask about the details. Otherwise, it won't be good if you're affected by karma. He had already been suppressed? So easy? Hanju felt that it was strange. Were the netherworld forces too confident? The two of them chatted for a while more before leaving. Immortal World, West Heaven. In Thunderclap Monastery, countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas gathered in the huge and grand temple. The heavenly Tao Buddha emitted a boundless Buddhist light. It was as if there were billions of monks chanting behind him. The Buddhist sounds echoed in the temple. Regarding the Dark Forbidden Lord, have you found any clues? Heavenly Tao Buddha asked slowly. An old Buddha said, Amitabha. The appearance of the Dark Forbidden Lord was too sudden. The only clue is that he used a mysterious book to curse the various factions in the immortal world. He might be related to the devil race. Devil race? The Buddhas were shocked and whispered among themselves. Heavenly Tao Buddha asked expressionlessly, do you have evidence? The old Buddha shook his head. Heavenly Tao Buddha continued, the devil race no longer has great providence. The Buddhist sect even controls the devil heart, so it's impossible for the Dark Forbidden Lord to be from the devil race. I think it's related to the demon emperor. He's so crazy that he can fight against the three factions alone. Other than those ancient races, he probably has greater confidence. His words caused the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to nod. Ever since the legend of the Dark Forbidden Lord spread in the immortal world, the demon court did not stop attacking. Instead, they began to wantonly devour the various domains of the immortal world. The immeasurable calamity has just begun. We have to be cautious. The demon court is very likely not the true calamity. It's said that the Dark Forbidden Lord has thousands of clones that walk the world. Amitabha. The Buddhist sect should stand up for all living beings and eliminate the Dark Forbidden Lord and the demon court. The Dark Forbidden Lord likes to curse his enemies. How vicious! My Buddha is merciful. Has anyone been cursed by the Dark Forbidden Lord? Hearing the discussions of the Buddhas, the heavenly Tao Buddha suddenly frowned. He was cursed. He pinched his fingers to deduce and only saw one book. He couldn't see the user's main body. This book was identical to the book that cursed the heavenly Rage Buddha. It was definitely the work of the Dark Forbidden Lord. Heavenly Tao Buddha frowned even harder. He didn't expect the Dark Forbidden Lord to curse him directly. However, this curse couldn't hurt him. Was the Dark Forbidden Lord so weak? No! The Dark Forbidden Lord wanted to disturb his Tao heart. Could it be that the Demon Emperor was driven mad by this? It was very likely. If he cursed the Demon Emperor to death, the Dark Forbidden Lord would definitely shoulder a huge amount of negative karma. However, if he provoked the Demon Emperor to sweep through the heavens, it would have nothing to do with the Dark Forbidden Lord himself. The heavenly Tao Buddha narrowed his eyes. Somehow, he seemed to see a figure. That figure stood at the peak of cultivation, looking down on the myriad worlds. His evil hands wanted to control the heavenly Tao. A strange uneasiness spread in the heavenly Tao Buddha's heart. A powerful enemy wasn't terrifying. What was terrifying was not knowing who it was. 7 years had passed since Xing Hongxian had reincarnated. Inside the Khanate cave abode, 3 lines of words suddenly appeared in front of Hanju, who was cultivating. Detected that you have been given the name of the Dark Forbidden Lord by the myriad worlds. You have the following choices. 1. Immediately ascend and use your identity as the Dark Forbidden Lord to fight for Providence. You can obtain a heavenly Tao Spirit Stone, a great Tao Fragment, a mystical power inheritance, a supreme treasure, a random natural treasure, and a system upgrade. 2. Cultivate in a low-profile manner and stay away from the immortal world. Don't participate in the calamity. You can obtain a great Tao fragment and a heavenly Tao spirit stone. Hanju was confused. What the heck? The Dark Forbidden Lord is actually me? Hanju's first reaction was that he was being framed. His second reaction was that he had been exposed. However, on second thought, there was no indication of a large amount of hatred. The only person who had developed hatred towards him recently was the heavenly Tao Buddha. How did I become the Dark Forbidden Lord? Hanju couldn't figure it out. Could it be that a mighty figure had deduced that he was a transmigrator? He immediately chose the second option. The great Tao fragment was useless for the time being. He had to keep it. He had currently accumulated 2 pieces. The heavenly Tao spirit stone could be used to upgrade Dharma treasures. However, it was a good item that had not appeared for a long time. Hanju's first choice was the Book of Misfortune. The Book of Misfortune was an Emperor Tao supreme treasure. It was not strong enough anymore and needed to be upgraded. As for the other Dharma treasures, there was no hurry. After all, he rarely fought with others. Hanju immediately took out the Book of Misfortune and the Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone and started to fuse and level up. Several days later, Book of Misfortune has been upgraded from an Emperor Tao Supreme Treasure to a Deity Realm Numinous Treasure. Hanju smiled in satisfaction when he saw this notification. He put down the Book of Misfortune, took out the Heavenly Tao token, and contacted Di Tai Bai. Soon, his divine sense connected. Senior, does the Heavenly Court know about the identity of the Dark Forbidden Lord? Hanju asked. Di Tai Bai asked in surprise, you've also heard of the Dark Forbidden Lord? He's a mysterious and unknown existence who used a mysterious and unfathomable cursed Dharma treasure to harm the heavens. No one knows his true identity, which is why he's called the Dark Forbidden Lord. The immortals of the Heavenly Court are also investigating him. It's said that he might be the existence who is controlling the immeasurable calamity. I control the immeasurable calamity? Who is slandering me? Hanju frowned. This accusation was too much. He couldn't take it. Who said that? Hanju asked. Di Tai Bai replied, I'm not sure who it is, but it's said that all the major factions are cursed by a mysterious Dharma treasure book. As time passed, everyone knew that there was another mighty figure plotting behind the scenes, so they called it the Dark Forbidden Lord. You don't have to worry. The Dark Forbidden Lord only curses the major factions. Hanju remained silent. Di Tai Bai had something to do and quickly severed his divine sense connection. Hanju was still stunned. How had he become the Dark Forbidden Lord? How had he become the mastermind behind the immeasurable calamity? Oh heavens, take pity on me. I'm clearly most afraid of the immeasurable calamity. Damn it! Was this karma? Was this fate? Hanju looked at Tao Comprehension Sword, who was cultivating and didn't hear the communication between Hanju and Di Tai Bai's divine sense. However, he was still worried. He said, come here. Tao Comprehension Sword opened her eyes and stood up in front of him without hesitation. Hanju grabbed her little hand, and her face instantly turned red. Master is holding my hand. Tao Comprehension Sword's mind went blank and she felt dizzy. Hanju said, I want to erase some of your memories, okay? Tao Comprehension Sword immediately jolted awake when she heard that. She asked nervously, what memories? Only a few. You won't forget me or anyone else. Then, sure, Tao Comprehension Sword couldn't reject him. Although she was puzzled, she did not ask further. Hanju immediately used the 6 paths soul absorption technique and prepared to completely erase the Book of Misfortune from Tao Comprehension Sword's memories to avoid being discovered. Now that he was the Dark Forbidden Lord, his identity was sensitive. He couldn't let anyone know that he had the Book of Misfortune. If he cursed people in the future, he had to chase Tao Comprehension Sword out. An hour later, Hanju let go, and Tao Comprehension Sword opened her eyes. She asked in surprise, you've already erased a portion of my memories? Why did she feel that she did not lose any memories? After all, Hanju only cursed once every 10 years. The Book of Misfortune didn't linger much in her memories. Yes, cultivate first. Hanju nodded. Tao Comprehension Sword could only suppress her confusion and return to cultivate. Hanju took a deep breath and adjusted his state of mind before continuing to cultivate. I have to be more cautious when cursing the enemies in the future, Hanju thought silently. It was still fine now. There were only so many enemies. If they increased, if these people colluded to discuss, they might deduce that he was the mastermind. Cough. What did he mean by the mastermind? Hanju stopped thinking and opened the emails. Your Dao companion Xing Hongxian has successfully reincarnated and obtained the Connate Providence Golden Kite Sacred Vein. Your good friend Ji Xianshan was attacked by a mighty figure. His soul was injured and his Dao heart was stimulated. Your good friend Huang Zuantian was attacked by Jie's school disciples, X16. Your good friend Li Daokong was attacked by a mighty figure. Your good friend Zhou Fan obtained the immeasurable emperor's inheritance. Your good friend Mo Fuzhou obtained the immeasurable emperor's inheritance. Your good friend Ji Xianshan has obtained the inheritance of the devil ancestor. His cultivation has increased greatly and he has absorbed the negative karma of the netherworld. Your good friend Jiang Yi was attacked by your enemy Li Xianao and was severely injured. Seeing that Xing Hongxian had obtained Connate Providence, Hanju was immediately relieved. She should be able to cultivate very quickly in this life. Perhaps in a few hundred years, she would be able to surpass the cultivation in her previous life. Hanju noticed Ji Xianshan's tragic situation. What happened to this fellow? Why did he collude with the devil ancestor? Could he be the person the Heavenly Emperor and Mengpo were talking about? It was really possible. Hanju sighed. He had a good impression of Ji Xianshan. Although this person was arrogant, he was also interesting. Now that he had embarked on the path of evil, he couldn't help but sigh. Hanju would help him if he could meet him in the future. Hopefully, he would realize his mistake. Hanju thought silently. Of course, he could only persuade him. If Ji Xianshan insisted on resisting the world, Hanju could only hide far away. Xidagarba Palace. A terrifying murderous aura wreaked havoc in the hall. Ji Xianshan's hair was disheveled and his eyes were bloodshot. A terrifying whirlwind circled around his body. Xidagarba stared at him with a dark expression and said in a low voice, "Devil ancestor. What do you want?" Ji Xianshan looked down at him and smiled sinisterly. Xidagarba, this child is not the one who will face the calamity, but he was forced by you guys to take on that role. Is this the righteousness of the Buddhist sect? The great kindness of the Buddhist sect? Xidagarba frowned. This child was born with an invincible heart. He's the supreme deity determined by the heavens. If not for your interference, he would have risen in this calamity and become a righteous deity who rules the heavens. All living beings would walk towards peace and prosperity under his guidance. Unfortunately, his pure invincible heart is already occupied by hatred, killing intent, and anger. You will be burdened with great karma and the negative forces of the calamity. Ji Xianshan's voice was hoarse and filled with mockery. Xidagarba's expression turned uglier. He immediately pinched his fingers to deduce. Several breaths later, his expression changed drastically. Impossible! Why didn't I predict this before? Xidagarba trembled in fear. What the devil ancestor said was true. Ji Xianshan suddenly turned around and flew out of Xidagarba Palace. This time, Xidagarba did not stop him. He collapsed to the ground like a pool of mud. After Ji Xianshan disappeared, he raised his trembling right hand and started casting. Soon, a figure appeared in front of him. It was the heavenly Tao Buddha. Xidagarba told him about Ji Xianshan with a miserable expression. Heavenly Tao Buddha frowned. Xidagarba asked in pain, "Buddha, didn't you say that he was the one to face the calamity?" Heavenly Tao Buddha snorted coldly. Are you blaming me? It's all because you can't deduce his fate. If I were here, I would definitely be able to deduce it. Xidagarba smiled bitterly and shook his head. Now, Ji Xianshan had been driven mad. Once he went berserk, part of the negative karma would fall on him. It would be fine if Ji Xianshan was an ordinary person, but he was a deity recognized by the heavenly Tao. Xidagarba had basically plotted against the heavenly Tao, so he would naturally be targeted by it. If he broke the rules, he would definitely be punished. Perhaps this is the reason why the person to face the calamity was born. What's done has been done. There's no need to regret it. This matter will immediately be passed on to the King of Hell. I'll also inform the other factions. With that, the heavenly Tao Buddha vanished. Xidagarba took a deep breath and slowly stood up. His eyes were confused. Was I really wrong? 10 years later. Hanju's cultivation level increased again, but he was still very far from breaking through to the rank 4 immortal emperor realm. It wasn't so easy to cultivate in the emperor realm. How talented was the divine general? He was already a few million years old, but he was still an immortal emperor. Hanju told Dao Comprehension Sword to leave the cave above and took out the Book of Misfortune to curse. This was the first curse after the Book of Misfortune was upgraded. Could a deity realm numinous treasure curse an immortal emperor to death? Hanju's first target was naturally the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. Humph. At least, I'll curse you until you go mad. Hanju thought silently and immediately poured his dermic powers into the Book of Misfortune. The Book of Misfortune burst out with a strange black light that shone on Hanju's face. His perfectly handsome face looked very dark and evil at this moment. At the edge of the yellow spring, the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor, who was dressed in a red robe, sat on the shore and cultivated. He suddenly opened his eyes and frowned. Damn it! That dog cursed me again. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor almost died of anger. He had chased Hanju for so many years but still couldn't find him. He wanted to give up, but Hanju would curse him from time to time. How could he stand it? He had to kill this fellow. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's expression changed slightly. He began to use his dermic powers to resist the mysterious curse. What's going on? Why is his curse so strong? Did he break through? The Golden Crow Divine Emperor thought uneasily as a sense of danger arose in his heart. No! He had to find that dog quickly, or he would be in trouble. A month later, the Golden Crow Divine Emperor suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. His expression darkened as he hurriedly suppressed the chaotic dermic powers in his body. On the other side, inside the Khanate cave abode, Hanju opened his eyes and looked at the Book of Misfortune in his hand. He was secretly shocked. The Book of Misfortune became stronger after it was upgraded to a deity realm numinous treasure. The dermic powers it could carry also increased greatly. In the past, it used up to 10 million years of lifespan to curse and required a few months. Now, it only needed a month. This was still something he used cautiously. If he used his full strength, the time could be compressed even shorter. After the curse power of the Book of Misfortune became stronger, although the burden on Hanju also increased, it temporarily couldn't affect his soul and wouldn't cause permanent damage to his body. This was a good thing. Hanju was still worried that the Book of Misfortune would become a double-edged sword. From the looks of it, as long as he didn't go overboard, the Book of Misfortune would not affect him. Hanju thought for a moment and continued cursing. Although he had lost 10 million years of his lifespan, ever since he broke through to the rank 3 immortal emperor realm, his lifespan had already exceeded 10 trillion years. In other words, even after he cursed many enemies, his lifespan had increased greatly instead. Another 2 months passed. Hanju finally saw an email. Because of your curse, your enemy Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor has lost his cultivation and has fallen to a rank 8 immortal emperor. Hanju heaved a sigh of relief as he put down the Book of Misfortune and wiped the blood off his face. Losing a total of 70 million years of lifespan was worth it. Hanju continued cursing the Demon Emperor, Golden Rock Demon Lord, Heavenly Dao Buddha, and Li Xianao. Everyone was cursed for 5 days. This was just to mess with their mental state. After cursing, he put down the Book of Misfortune. Then, he split a soul fragment and quickly left Hidden Sect Island. He wanted to find the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. Since the other party had already fallen to a rank 8 immortal emperor, he could be killed. No one had ever chased after Hanju so persistently. He naturally wouldn't let him go. On a cliff, the Golden Crow Divine Emperor frowned as he stared at the figure meditating under the cliff. It was Ji Xianshan. At this moment, Ji Xianshan's entire body was trembling. His head was also shaking non-stop. His expression changed irregularly as if he had gone mad. The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor happened to pass by this place and discovered that there was something wrong with Ji Xianshan's aura. Therefore, he stopped to look. Pinching his fingers to deduce, his expression changed slightly. This fellow was actually related to Hanju. The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor immediately revealed a sinister smile. He raised his palm and slapped out, causing a terrifying pressure to descend from the sky, instantly pressing Ji Xianshan down. Ji Xianshan was jolted awake. He looked up at the great freedom golden crow divine emperor and said angrily, "What do you mean by this?" He had finally escaped from the Xitigarbha palace. Ji Xianxin wanted to cultivate for a period of time, but he did not expect to be attacked again. Why? Rage burned in Ji Xianxin's heart. He believed that he had never done anything outrageous or offended anyone. Why was it that people kept finding trouble with him? Do you know him? The Golden Crow Divine Emperor raised his hand and used his dermic powers to manifest Hanju's appearance. The moment Ji Xianxin saw Hanju, he couldn't help but frown. He asked in a low voice, "Are you looking for him?" "That's right. I want to kill him. Tell me, where is he hiding in the netherworld?" The Golden Crow Divine Emperor looked down at Ji Xianxin and asked coldly. Ji Xianxin was furious. Hanju was one of his few friends. How could he tolerate others chasing after his friends? Ji Xianxin suddenly leaped up and spread his arms. Countless black lightning interwove around his body. He was like the thunder god from ancient times, insufferably arrogant and domineering. Without another word, Ji Xianxin raised his hand and waved it at the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. Boom! A deafening boom erupted in the sky. 10,000 bolts of lightning suddenly descended as if the sky was collapsing as it bombarded the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor smiled disdainfully. He raised his right hand and squeezed through the air, directly crushing countless bolts of lightning. A mere Grand Unity Golden Immortal dares to compete with me? The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's laughter was so wild and arrogant, filled with disdain. Perfect, I'll start with you first and let you experience the consequences of offending me. His smile became sinister. His anger rose uncontrollably when he thought of Hanju cursing him in secret. Ji Xianxin's expression was cold as he charged towards the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. A huge battle erupted. Above the yellow spring, Hanju's soul fragment moved forward aimlessly. Strange, why isn't that stinky bird shouting anymore? Hanju was surprised. Previously, he could hear the cries of the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor from time to time, but recently, he couldn't hear it. Did something happen to him? Hanju was puzzled when he suddenly felt a powerful aura of battle. His eyes lit up. Great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. I've finally found you. Next, I'll let you know what true cruelty is. Hanju immediately contacted his main body and asked it to hurry over. Then, he went forward to see who was fighting the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. The area ahead was devastated and surrounded by a dark mist that looked like smoke. The ground had countless cracks, forming a bottomless valley. The sky was even burning with raging flames. In the air, the Golden Crow Divine Emperor grabbed Ji Xianxin's head with one hand and raised him in the air. He smiled disdainfully and said, "The power of the Divine General. No wonder you dared to attack me. Unfortunately, your body is too weak. Even the devil ancestor can't save you." Covered in blood, Ji Xianxin gritted his teeth and glared at the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. At this moment, he didn't even have the strength to move. The difference in power was too great. It was so great that Ji Xianxin's confidence was crushed. A wisp of black smoke rose from the top of his head and condensed into a ghost figure. Golden Crow Divine Clan, do you really want to become enemies with the devil race? The Golden Crow Divine Emperor smiled disdainfully. What are the devils? You're just street rats. Tell me, where is that dog? Ji Xianxin raised his right hand with difficulty and wanted to slap the face of the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's eyes turned cold, and Ji Xianxin's right arm burned with true sun flame. Oh! The pain that penetrated deep into his soul made Ji Xianxin scream hoarsely. He was extremely miserable. Seeing Ji Xianxin in extreme pain, the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor revealed a carefree expression. What a pity! If you were that dog, I would be even happier. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor laughed teasingly. The ghostly figure said angrily, Golden Crow Divine Clan, you will pay the price. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor waved his left hand and dispersed the ghost figure. Then, he prepared to extract Ji Xianxin's soul and read memories about Hanju. He didn't believe that he couldn't find him. His eyes turned red at the thought of being cursed by that dog. At this moment, a familiar aura approached him. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor turned around and saw Hanju's soul fragment flying over. He immediately smiled in surprise before his smile turned cold. They finally met. Hanju was the first to speak. Stupid bird, let go of him and come at me. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor directly crushed Ji Xianxun's head, causing blood and flesh to splatter everywhere. But he still held Ji Xianxun's soul in his hand. Hanju said, if you kill him, my true body won't come. You can continue looking for me endlessly. The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor frowned slightly. He released Ji Xianxun's soul. Hanju raised his hand and sucked Ji Xianxun's soul into his hand. The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor stared at him and asked, you finally can't help but show yourself? Hanju said calmly, haven't you been looking for me? Ji Xianxun's soul was extremely weak. He looked at Hanju with difficulty and said weakly, hurry up and leave. You're not his. Hanju said softly, don't talk. Rest first. Leave him to me. Ji Xianxun was stunned. Seeing him so calm, the fear in his heart inexplicably calmed down. That's right. This fellow was so cowardly. If he didn't have confidence, how could he dare to show himself? However, Ji Xianxun couldn't help but look at the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. He saw that this fellow had a disdainful smile on his face and did not care about them at all. Ji Xianxun was immediately infuriated. Anger occupied his heart. He wasn't angry at the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor, but at himself. He was too weak. He was just too weak. He was actually afraid of the other party. Kid, why aren't you hiding in the dark and continuing to curse me? The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor asked coldly. Hanju was secretly shocked. How did this fellow know? No! The Heavenly Tao Buddha and the Demon Emperor did not sense him. Why did the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor discover him? Hanju asked in surprise, you're also being cursed? He smiled and teased. I feel better now. I'm not the only one getting cursed. Hearing this, the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor frowned and asked, it's not you? You were also cursed? Hanju shrugged. Haven't you heard of the Dark Forbidden Lord? He secretly cursed all the forces in the myriad worlds. You and I are both immortal emperors. We might be targeted too. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor frowned even harder. That's true. He's not even my match. How can he curse me until I lost a major realm of cultivation? The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor thought silently. He was only an immortal emperor and couldn't even deduce the Book of Misfortune. He naturally couldn't deduce Hanju. He was only guessing. Now it seemed that Hanju was not cursing him. Damn Dark Forbidden Lord, I'll remember you. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor thought silently. His gaze was still fixed on Hanju. Forget about the Dark Forbidden Lord. The most important thing now was to kill this dog. Soon, a figure flew over from the horizon. It was Hanju's main body. He held the primordial judgment sword in his hand as he flew in front of the soul fragment to absorb it. Then, he slowly walked towards the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor. Hanju said, actually, there's no grudge between us. Why are you chasing after me? The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor looked down on him and asked with a smile, are you afraid? I'm indeed afraid. I wonder if... No! I must kill, the Golden Crow Divine Emperor shouted domineeringly. However, before he could finish speaking, Hanju suddenly attacked. He slashed out with his sword. A white stream appeared in the netherworld and swept past the Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor, slicing the sea of clouds in half. The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's pupils dilated and his body trembled. This sword chi! In an instant, his body suddenly exploded. Countless sword chi wreaked havoc in his soul like wind blades. The Great Freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor immediately cast a spell to block, but he had just been cursed and was already in an injured state. He was unable to block Hanju's sword chi. Unparalleled sword chi. This was Hanju's new mystical power. At an extremely fast speed, he sent the sword chi into the enemy's body. He used the Destiny Sword Chi Great Wheel to imprison the enemy and compress the explosive sword chi like 3 pure world cleansing into a small area to destroy the enemy. Oh no! I can't take it! The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's expression changed drastically. An unprecedented fear enveloped his heart. No! The Golden Crow Divine Emperor's soul was directly obliterated by the unparalleled sword chi. The entire process took less than half a breath of time. Before Ji Xianxun could even figure out what had happened, The great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor's body and soul had been destroyed. Hanju heaved a sigh of relief. If the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor was still a rank 9 immortal emperor, Hanju's sword chi would take a while to completely kill him. Fortunately, this fellow had just fallen a realm. Not only had his cultivation level regressed, but his dermic powers were also somewhat lacking. Under such circumstances, how could the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor withstand Hanju's deity realm mystical power? Not only that, but the unparalleled sword chi itself was a karma mystical power. After killing the great freedom Golden Crow Divine Emperor, the Golden Crow Divine clan wouldn't be able to guess who the murderer was. Hanju immediately fled with Ji Xianshan and quickly disappeared into the end of the world. At the edge of the Yellow Spring, Hanju put Ji Xianshan down and used his dermic powers to help him reconstruct his body. Ji Xianshan was still in a daze. The nearly invincible Golden Crow Divine Emperor had been insta-killed by Cao Cao? Impossible! Ji Xianshan felt that everything was like a dream. Hanju asked, "Why didn't you stay in the heavenly court?" Coming back to his senses, Ji Xianshan said bitterly, "I want to pursue greater strength." Sigh. This sigh contained endless unwillingness and regret. Hanju became speechless. It could only be said that Ji Xianshan was unlucky. "What do you plan to do next?" Hanju asked. He wanted to take Ji Xianshan into the hidden sect, but this fellow was clearly not an ascetic. He might expose the location of the hidden sect island. Ji Xianshan's eyes turned cold. Xidagarba has determined that I'm someone who will face the calamity. He tortured me and humiliated me. In that case, I will become that person and enter the calamity. I want to fight for Providence. I want to unify the myriad worlds. Hanju could hear the killing intent in his tone. It seemed that it was very difficult to persuade him. The atmosphere fell silent. Ji Xianshan turned around and asked, "Cao Cao, what's your cultivation level now?" "Immortal Emperor?" Hanju hesitated for a moment before nodding slightly. Ji Xianshan felt bitter. Not only did their difference not decrease, it instead increased. Cao Cao was truly unfathomable. "No! I can't be defeated!" Ji Xianshan asked with a burning gaze, "Why don't the two of us join forces and sweep through the immortal world, snatching Providence and surpassing all living beings? Wouldn't that be beautiful?"